Welcome back. In this week's Madeline Motivates, it's time we have the COVID chat. Now, as you continue to navigate social settings during the pandemic, it's important to establish your own safety standards out of respect for not only yourself, but also for others. Well, here to expand on this and motivate you to set some COVID boundaries of your own is Dr. Amy Person, Health Officer for the Benton-Franklin Health District. Good morning, Dr. Person.
Good morning.
Now, I read about the concept of setting COVID boundaries in a recent blog post from the Washington State coronavirus response. And based on that article, why would you say it's important to set boundaries when it comes to social gatherings?
Because we all need to be safe, particularly during the holidays. And it's important for us to be able to meet our needs, to have that discussion in a way that's respectful for all of us.
Yeah, very true. And from what I've gathered so far navigating this pandemic, it seems that different people have different standards of what they're comfortable with. So what are some basic ground rules that we could adopt into our social circles depending on our circumstances?
One of the most important things is to identify, is there anyone in our group that's at higher risk? Because we really need to take special consideration for people who are at higher risk for getting very sick if they get COVID. Mm-hmm. We also need to understand the need to wear masks and where people feel about that. And then also really to set the rules for gatherings we're going to have in our own home. These are uncomfortable topics now because we're not used to them. But I'll be honest, I'm old enough to remember when we had these same discussions about smoking, about if we have friends coming over who smoke, how to respectfully ask them not to smoke in our own home. That seems incredible now. That would even be a difficult topic. COVID is the same way. We just need to get used to talking about what we need to do to be safe.
That's great advice. Well, I also know that with the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we're going to encounter some of these potentially awkward situations. So what are a few questions that you can give us in our few seconds left here? What are some questions we should ask our family or friends we plan to gather with to determine whether that event is within our comfort zone?
We need to ask questions about, is it going to be indoors? How many people? Are we asking if people are going to be checking about symptoms if they come? And at the most extreme end, I'd say we can ask about, are we willing to quarantine ourselves before we all meet together?
Oh, interesting. Well, definitely some things to think about. We're out of time for now, but we're going to have Dr. Person back with us next week, I believe. So thank you so much for your time. And I know from personal experience that it can be disappointing and even awkward to set these COVID boundaries with your family and friends. You just need to remember to be strong and then realize that your health and safety is worth it, and only do what you're comfortable with. And next week at the same time, we're going to revisit this topic with ways to respectfully say no to those you love.